Okay. We're live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram. Good morning. Instagram. Checking connection. That's better. Fantastic. Okay. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Instagram. Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show. It is Friday. It's Fitness Athlete Friday, and it is open CrossFit world. So I am super pumped right now. I'm on the top of the mountain right now as far as open season and CrossFit world is concerned. We're going to wrap a little bit about that and some topics correlated to CrossFit and to physical therapy, which is what we do on Fitness Athlete Friday. That's what you're here for. You're here for those goods, right? Before we get into that, I got a couple quick announcements to make. If you have not been aware, if you've been under a rock, not listening to PT on Ice, what have you been doing? Because we've got the sampler coming up in not this weekend, next weekend. It's that fast. It's March 27th. It's next weekend. I'm going to be here in Fenton Friday night lights, and then jump on a plane Saturday morning, fly down to Nashville, and hang out with the rest of the ICE crew as we pass the mic around and we deliver 1 to 2 hours of our best content from each division, and that's the purpose of the sampler, is so that you get the meat and potatoes from the entire team, the entire course divisions. That course next weekend, March 27th, in CrossFit Hendersonville, a beautiful giant facility that the last I checked, they had the most number of open registrations in the United States for a U.S. affiliate, which is super sweet. So if you can make it to Nashville next weekend, I highly encourage you to do that. Other things on the docket right here in this office, Fenton, Michigan, we're going to be hosting the extremity course. Lindsay Huey, Mark Gallant, coming to Michigan, Fenton area. That's April 10th. So if you're around the area, if you're in the Chicago, Ohio, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Northern Michigan area, come on down, hang out at CrossFit Fenton, hang out at Health HQ for the weekend, and take the extremity management course. It's phenomenal. It's awesome. I'm excited to be here and helping out with it. April 10th. The following weekend, April 17th, I will be down in Norfolk, Virginia with my good friend Joe Hansico from Grand Rapids. We will be down there in Virginia April 17th. That's the Fitness Athlete Live course. I would love to see you out there. That is my first live course of the year, I believe, of 2021, the first time I'm on the road. So I'm geeked up. We're revamping some of the course content there, and would love to see you on the road if you're going to make that. So a couple things coming up for you: the sampler, extremity, and fitness athlete on the road. Now let's talk today. The topic for today's discussion is the merits of the retest. For those of you following the CrossFit world, 21.2 was announced last night at 8 p.m. We were here. We watched Alan take it on, heads up, right after the announcement, took it on at 8:30 sharp. The workout was a repeat of 17.1. 17.1 is an ascending ladder of dumbbell snatches that's coupled with 15 burpee box jump overs. So it moves from 10 all the way up to 50 dumbbell snatches. It seems relatively harmless until you get into the workout, your lungs are on fire, and you realize you're not even halfway through the overall volume of the dumbbell snatches yet, which really starts to beef up in the round of 40 and then finally in the round of 50. The burpee box jump overs, 15 reps doesn't seem like that much on paper, but they feel like they're never ending when you're on rep 5 and you think you feel like you have 100 more to do instead of 10. So I'm really looking forward to taking this on, but it really got me thinking about, man, the importance of the retest. You know, some people are like, oh man, doing that workout again. And they kind of brush it off. They brush it off as kind of being like a not as exciting of a workout. They want some novelty. They want new. They want movements they've never done before, a workout scheme they've never seen before. And in reality, we should be leaning into the retest. The retest is where everything is at. If you're really looking to prove your program, prove your fitness, prove your training, the work you've been doing, that's where everything is at. And that's our whole encouragement for athletes joining the CrossFit Open year after year is, hey, we'll be able to track your fitness over time, and not just where you stack up in the world placement. I was 90th thousandth this year, and then I moved my way up to 82nd thousandth in the year, so on and so forth. That's one metric, but the retest year after year, right? Being able to go back and say 2017 was my first year in the Open. I can pull my scores up at the game's website from that and say, okay, this is what I did. This was my time. If my training in the last 4 years has been consistent, if I've been putting in the work in, if I've been getting better at my weaknesses, if I've been working on that single dumbbell a lot more than in 2017 when it showed up for the first time, I should perform better, right? That's the expectation. That's what we do it for. That's why we're training, is to improve performance improvement over time. The retest brings that right to front and center. It eliminates all the other excuses that athletes typically have about workouts they haven't done before. Take, for example, 21.1. Everyone up in arms. Well, I've never done a wall walk-up before, or that's kind of a silly movement, or, those standards are a little, it wipes all of those excuses away when you're presented with a retest, because you've seen it before. You've done it before. It's under the exact same circumstances and conditions, right? You've been asked to do this workout once in the past. You knew it was a possibility of showing up again in the future, and here it is. That abrupt awakening of you're asked to repeat a workout that you put forth your best performance in the past, and you're going to see if your best performance today can best it. It's you versus you, which is what this is ultimately all about, but it brings that truth right to the surface really quickly. I love that about it. It proves the program. Dave Castro says, listen, this is an evidence-based fitness program. This is an evidence-based training program. And if what we say is working, if increasing work capacity over broad time and modal domains with the use of high-intensity functional movements that are constantly varied, if that is working, we should retest, and we should see that improvement over time. And we do. In the early days of CrossFit, that was still up in question. But now CrossFit's been around for the better part of 20 years. The CrossFit Open's been around for 11. Now we can see that, hey, when we retest, the vast majority of folks show improvement that have been consistent with CrossFit. The question is, are you going to show improvement? The question is, have you been doing the work? Have you been attacking your weaknesses? Have you been, putting in the time on your aerobic capacity so those burpees don't exhaust you so much? Have you been getting stronger with your deadlifts, pulls, presses, so that a 50-pound dumbbell suddenly is very sub-threshold to you, where a 50-pound dumbbell 4 years ago may have been really close to a 1-rep max for you, right? So that's where you're coming to face with that reality. But that is so close to what we should be doing in PT world as well. The merits of what we do in physical therapy and rehabilitation, musculoskeletal pain, outpatient orthopedic, we have to have a retest, which is why you hear us talk about it so much. If you've taken the spine courses, if you've taken any ICE course, you hear about the asterisk sign, the symptom behavior model, and the ability to track and very thoroughly assess these asterisk signs and replicate them over and over and over again. When you hear Jeff and Jordan and Zach talk about doing a sloppy test gives you no usable information. You can't make good decisions with bad data. If you did 2017, or you did 17.1 in the year of 2017, and you didn't know what size box you used, you just grabbed the dumbbell off the shelf, you didn't know what weight it was, you don't know if you really squared up your burpees or not, or if you did a 1-foot jump or a 2-foot jump, that's bad data. And then you go in 2021 and do it under perfect scenario, like square up your burpees, 2-foot takeoff, use a 50-pound dumbbell. How can you make a good decision on whether or not you got fitter or not if you had some bad data in 2017? You can't. And so then you may get discouraged from your fitness program. You may say, oh, it's not working for me. I knew this CrossFit stuff wasn't going to be good for me, right? But if you retest under exactly the same circumstances, under the same rules, following it to a T, the same weight dumbbell, the same height box, doing the burpees the same way, transitioning the dumbbell more efficiently, and then you track your progress in 4 years, then you can make a good assessments on what's been going on in your lifestyle, your nutrition, your training program, your consistency, your sleep, all those things, right? The same thing goes in PT world. If you do a straight leg raise examination on that lumbar patient who's got some ridiculous symptoms going down the leg, and you're real sloppy with the setup, you don't know that you've got your thick pillow instead of your thin normal pillow. The head of the table's propped up 20 degrees. They got one arm kicked off the side of the table. They got one leg splayed out 30 degrees of abduction, and you do a straight leg raise assessment on that, and then you follow up after a couple days, a couple visits worth of intervention, and you don't see improvement with that, you're going to make bad decisions because you had bad data. So square it up, follow the standards, right? Because the merits are in the retest. Like everything is about the retest. Same thing with your functional measurements. Our physical therapist Joellen here in the office, taking her patients out in the gym and testing maxes almost like on the daily. I had to go out there and spot someone from doing a 1-rep max bench press the other day, right? How often are you asking your colleagues in the clinic to come test you because you're having your patients put up a 1-rep max? Well, you're doing that if you're looking to retest. You're doing that if you're looking to track improvements over time. Because when you can stand back after 6 or 8 weeks and say, look, your strength went from 200 to 275, or your press went from 165 to 205, or your deadlift went from this number to that number. When you can show them the retest and the results in the retest and the merits of the retest, you can speak to the validity of your training program, an evidence-based training program that gets results, right? And that's what PT needs to focus on. Your session needs to be an evidence-based session that is able to observe, measure, and repeat the tests that you're doing to be able to track that performance over time. Whether that's a straight leg raise, whether that's a forward fold to assess for full range of motion lumbar spine, or if that's a symptom generator of what's causing back and hip pain, right? Whether that's going out in the gym and testing a 5-rep max hip thrust, right? Like you need to be able to observe, measure, and repeat those tests so that you can follow up on that with the retest day and track progress, right? Showing a patient how many burpees they can do in 7 minutes, and then working on their aerobic capacity, and then retesting 7 minutes of burpees. Show them the progress. That is what we mean by build the bike. It's all about the retest. The proof is in the retest. I have it written on the board behind me if you can't read that. So use it to your advantage and be thinking about the retest when you test it the first time. I'm going to do this so perfect. I'm going to have this dialed in so accurately that I can't screw it up the next time I do it, so that I can get perfect data the next time I do it, so that I know if the interventions I've been doing have been making progress or not, so that I know the training program I've been doing has been working. It's improving my fitness, my work capacity over broad time and modal domains, and therefore making me a healthier individual, right? Lean into the discomfort of the retest, because that's where you get to prove yourself, right? If you've been doing the work, if you've been doing your home exercise, if you've been showing up to the gym 4 to 5 days a week and exercising at high intensities, right? You should have nothing to fear of the retest. You should be confident going into it knowing that you are going to, just demolish the time and the effort that you did before. It's going to hurt equally as bad. Trust me. I think people think, Mitch, you've been doing CrossFit 5-6 years. Like it probably doesn't hurt you as bad. No. Trust me. It hurts me just as bad as it hurts you if you're just starting, but my performance is better, right? My high intensity is yielding me a higher result, right? And that's the point, right? Dr. Meg, this is a great question, answer real time. What if a patient's squat or deadlift form is so bad, I can't even do a test on the initial eval? It'll be something I test again later. We do this all the time. We test it from an elevated surface, right? We do a kettlebell deadlift from a 2 or 4 inch elevation, right? If I can't get them in good mechanics on session 1, I'll elevate the floor into a position where they're in good mechanics for it. I'll get that data. Then I'll execute that on week 6, week 8, put them on that same platform that I had them on before and have them do another deadlift. Now, let's say that they're way better. Well, now I can make it harder. Now I can progress it. I can have them deadlift from the floor. But at least I know where I started at, so I can make measurable change from there, right? And I can say, hey, Dave, look, session 1, you couldn't even get down to the floor with good mechanics. Now you're not only doing that, but you're way heavier than you were on first day. That also shows additional improvement for them, right? That's what I've got. I hope you lean into the retest. I hope you use it as an opportunity to just continue swallowing that ego that sticks with us and follows us around every single day, that you lean into the fact that, hey, this is an opportunity for me to prove to myself that I've been working hard, that I've been dialing in my nutrition, that I've been making good choices that are leading to a fitter and healthier individual. And I get to showcase that now by looking back at my time 4 years ago and improving upon that today, right? The merits of the retest. That's where all the proof exists, right? Show up, put in the work, and see where you're at today as opposed to 4 years from now, or in PT world 4 weeks ago, right? 4 sessions ago, whatever it may be. So I hope you guys are taking on 21.2, also known as 17.1, also known as a lot of burpees and a lot of dumbbell snatches. I'm looking forward to it. We had a fantastic showing here at CrossFit Fenton last Friday night. We're doing Friday Night Lights again tonight. I'm geeked about it. Looking forward to that, and we'll do the same for week 3. And then again, I'll be jumping on a plane next week and heading down to the sampler in Nashville. I hope you guys can join us for that. So that's all I have. Fitness Athlete Friday. I wish you guys well. Best of luck to you on your open attempt if you're doing it, 21.2 tonight. Shoot me a message. Let me know how it went for you. And I will see you guys as soon as next weekend in Nashville. Take care. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.